Greetings and welcome back, hopefully, to Old Drunken Discography. We're all friends, fans, going to get a BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. This week's musical artist is International Noise Conspiracy. I'm Jason. With me is Tim.
I pick.
And Bill.
My pick.
Not your pick. Hashtag not your pick. You gave us
Hashtag
7
biased.
Spires.
Damn right.
That was a fun one. Go check out that series. Anyway, we're talking International Noise Conspiracy. We're talking Survival Sickness. And give us a like, give us a subscribe. It really helps us out. We need all the help we can get. Obviously, YouTube algorithm does not like us at all. It's going to give you some other bullshit and not us. So help us out. All right. International Noise Conspiracy. Survival Sickness. I guess I could start this one off.
You sure? You know what, Jason? Let's go back and forth on this bad boy.
Man, I don't fucking want to. All right, fine. Do you want to do it? You go first.
All right. So, I want to know about you. I thought it was a tad bit repetitive, but I enjoy it. I noticed a major shift in sound on this album.
Decent opening track. Sets the tone for the album nicely.
Subversive sound. I'm not sure about the vocals on this one. Just so this is the point where I'm gonna say it reminds. This is the album. Last one was more Rolling Stones. This one was more Animals for me. Which personally, I like the Animals more than the Rolling Stones. Uh, might be an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. Nonetheless, I thought the keyboard though was really great in that song.
Okay, so that not the
Yep.
diversion. I was thinking of a different album. Uh, the subversive sound. That fucking outro. This song overstayed its welcome to the point of being fucking amazing.
Oh boy, top songs will be rough. Smash It Up. I thought was a so this one actually had a video with it for a single, so that's when I knew it was. I thought it had great lyrics. I think at this point, my issue with this album is the mixing that I'm having. Just because it feels like they're going for like that 70s A track type sound, which other bands have done in the 2000s. The notable one I can think of offhand that got popular was like the Killers. Like they really tried to harken that older style sound. But the thing is, I think,
Well, I mean, there were the Hives, the Vines, the Strokes, the White
well,
Stripes, the Black Keys. Like it was a
yeah,
whole thing.
Yeah, there was a
yeah,
there was a '60s garage revival in the
yeah.
Yeah.
2000s.
But my note with this, I feel like whoever's mixing, which if they're indie sub epitaph or yeah, sub epitaph or however that works out at this point, like it's for me, it's a mixing issue right now I'm having. I think it's good sounds, but I just don't like how it's mixed together.
Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't have any problem with the productions. Um, Smash It Up almost had a Doors feel to it. This band is all over the place, and none of the places are bad.
All right. Survival Sickness, I thought the slower song was all right. I wish it wasn't as muted as it was. Like it just felt like they were muting everything down. Not artificially, which they could have done, but they didn't do, which I'll give them a point for. But it felt like it was toned down too much for me. Like I wanted at least it was slower, but I wanted a little bit more on it. This is me being picky.
Uh, I wasn't
That's a
too
good sign.
big on the title track. Again, not bad. It just wasn't as unique and crazy as what's around it. It was a plateau, I guess, is the new word we're using.
Reproduction of death. Best song on the album for sure. I love the energy it brings. I love damn near everything about this song. unarguably top song contender.
You sure you ain't reading the notes for Imposter?
No, I'm sure I'm reading the notes for reproduction.
Okay. The reproduction, see Exhibit B. This sounds like 2000's Epitaph. I love the quieter chanting part around the 2 minute 20-second mark.
Because my note for Imposter, a great song again, doesn't quite do the same energy as for me from the last one though. It's
What?
still a great song. I felt I had more from reproduction. Reproduction just hit me different.
All right. Imposter, top song contender, song goes fucking nuts.
So then we get to ooh
Intermission. Do,
intermission,
do, 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 do.
which I how the hell do I have 11 songs. I have 12 songs.
See, I bet
Which
you off a
one?
track.
I have 13 songs, and I'm going to mention four others or three
Look
others.
at how do I have how am I off? Spell it out's there. That's lovers. Oh, yep, no, yeah, this is. Yep, intermission. I loved it. It sort of reminded me of White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. Uh a solid instrumental. But then it got that weird what going on. It's like, oh, that was different, and I enjoyed it more. Top song contender.
I just prefer my intermissions a little shorter. Like it's just an
I
intermission.
I feel like it was I feel like it was the right length.
Eh.
Only Lovers Left Alive. I thought it had a great sound. I'm sorry. It had great instruments going on with it. I'm still not sure about the sound mixing though.
Only Lovers. This one just made me sad. Reminded me of an old friend I don't talk to anymore. Great song though. Top song contender.
Do I have to spell it out? Would have been better if Deep Purple had done it. Just as that's the band that it reminded me of. I mean, and again, just thinking like the Deep Purple that album that came out last year. You can't tell me in 2000 with how hard they rocked in 2024. Deep Purple could have rocked that hard in 2000. Um, that being said, it it's not bad, but it kind of just goes on a little bit too long.
Wasn't a fan of this one. The start stops were more annoying than anything. I think it was just the weird tempo thing they were doing. Like it was a very odd song.
Well, because actually my note on the next one, Will It Ever Be Quiet, was the slower and quieter doesn't do it for me at this point, I've realized for this band. Um, I feel like there's a lot of potential there for them. It just they never capitalized on it. It's still good, but it's just not doing it for me.
Mine says, favorite line, I want to thank you for my little nemesis for everything, for making my head explode and my ears ring. I kept waiting for this song to explode, but it never does. It didn't really need to explode. I just kept thinking it was going to explode.
So then we get to Enslavement Blues. I could have sworn I already heard this song on this album. It's good, but nothing different going on. Scratch that. This song rips at the end.
Mine just says picks it back up with that Hives vibe.
Ready, Set, Go. Not sure about this one as the closer. The energy just felt off for a closing track. It didn't have that downbeat slowing it down at the end. It also didn't have that upbeat, like, all right, we're sending you off. It hit that middle ground that for me, it just I think maybe Enslavement Blues would have been a nicer end to this album as a whole. Ready, Set, Go, like lyrically as well as song title makes sense as a closer, but I think it could have been better as a follow up before Ready, Set, Go, Enslavement Blues. Here we are.
I think Ready, Set, Go should have been more like a Nirvana's aneurysm, like Ready, Set, Go, we're going to explode at the end. But yeah, you're right. It does kind of, I think I liked Brand New Day more from the previous album, but if that wasn't the closing track, I would have liked Black Mask more. It's still a fine closing track though. Like, I mean, it's not a bad song. It's just it could have fit anywhere in on the album, I guess.
Again, not a bad song. It paled,
Yeah,
right?
it was a plateau at the end, and you don't want to end on a plateau
You want to end either a peak or a tempo
or
valley
like
where
a
you're
strip
down
club
low
at
and you're
the
just
valley,
relaxing.
like a strip club at the bottom of the valley type situation.
Yeah.
My closing notes say it's like if the Strokes wrote songs about kicking ass and taking names. A sense of urgency prenates throughout this discography. A lot of early White Stripes 2000s as well, just twice as noisy.
I'm saying my overall notes already hit on with the whole Animals, the band that I thought of with this album.
I
Um,
was thinking it's a later album that we're going to get to that you think is the Animals, or that you was picking up Animals.
oh, see, this is where I really picked up. But then again, when I think of Animals, I'm thinking more of especially like the early '60s Animals type stuff going on.
This felt very like of its time with like the Strokes, the High, like all the bands. This sounded like that, which is not what I expected going in. I expected punk rock, loud, noisy. I wasn't expecting like, and I have no problem. I love the Strokes, I like the Hives, the Killers. They got one good song, but it's better than those, but it's still like in that time of like the 2000s.
Yeah, yeah.
Not lyrically. Lyrically, it's still just as fucking relevant as important today as it was then. Great lyrics. Well, as Bill likes to say, Tim, how wrong are we?
I don't know. We'll get into that. Um,
Oh boy.
so this album came out in 2000. This was the video I saw that introduced me to this band was Smash It Up at like 2 in the morning. It spoke to me that day. Went out and bought the CD the next day. Loved it. Was able to find the vinyl for $9.49 brand new.
I'd buy this for $9 easily.
Oh, I miss
I'll
good
buy
vinyl.
any album for $9.
I miss good vinyl prices.
Well,
Uh, and then I'll throw out that yeah, you got the song titles on the front, and then on the back they've got what look like song titles. Communication of knowledge and ideas, poetry and action fused together, the creative urge to destroy bourgeois culture. My heart still hurts from last night. Selling of the biggest commodity, the collective changing of identity, a time to contemplate, true romance, smash the neoliberal agenda, the joyous sound of progress, or we are all cultural prostitutes. I woke up in love this morning, the celebration of passion and resistance. And if you look, because of course this lyric sheet is another 2-page manifesto, those are basically each song summed up about what they're about. Information that might be important for the consumption of this record. Music is limiting in its output. We only have a certain amount of time to try and reproduce the ideas that we want the listener to take a part of. The lyrics all have to fit into the limits of the song, thus making them objects to issues like rhythm, rhyme, and length, making it very hard to get across complex ideas, thus making the words one dimensional and hollow of sorts. So, instead of abiding to the common practice of adaptation, we are giving you a more full spectrum of the ideas behind the song. Once again, still limited to the layout of the record, but at least a bit more detailed than the lyrics of the songs. So, for example, I Want to Know About You is about the communication of knowledge and ideas. Seems basic enough, right? But when you get to the lyric sheet, it's an actual questionnaire. Your name, how do you determine age? A, with some reference to how long you've been alive. B, with reference to what you have done? C, with reference to what you will do? D, age has no meaning to you. Like right off the bat, like, what the hell am I looking at here? This is awesome.
Propaganda did
Uh,
something similar too.
yeah,
With that,
no,
it's that same
it,
mindset.
um, yeah, we get to smash it up, and there is 51 things, just 51 suggestions, a couple random ones. Play acoustic versions of angry Samoan songs at posh cafes. Go to the nearest religious organization and demand a cut of the money that they collect for the needy. Poster your town or city with announcements of huge, all you can eat and drink for free parties at the houses of local politicians. Change the time on all clocks that you encounter at people's houses, in public places, etc.
That just feels like a dick move.
Yeah,
If you have something stupid to say, make sure that it gets said loud.
Well, always. Come on.
Gulf of America. Anyone?
Yeah, I don't know. Just give library cards to all your friends as a gift. Get all of your friends to go into Burger King, order glasses of water, and take as many seats as possible for as long as possible. Do this every day right before lunchtime.
Okay, okay. Well, what about grabbing the crowns, right? Like, you got to grab a crown when you're at Burger King.
Yeah, you got to.
Like, even if it's not your birthday, it's your fucking crown, goddammit.
So yeah, when I picked up this album back in June of 2000, um, the artwork alone just kind of stunned me. Like this was a real package. This was somebody out there trying to do something real with their art, and that spoke to a young Tim, in the early 2000s. Musically, I love the opening riff, and then when the full band kicks in on "I Know What I Know About You," I'm just hooked. Again, the drums on this album are amazing. The bass is amazing. I love. There's so much to love. Um, I love the intermission. Like, obviously vinyl was dead in 2000, so pick it up on CD. And they, as a band who very clearly listens to a lot of vinyl and who released their first album on 7-inch vinyl series, I appreciated the fact that they put a physical A and B side on the CD with the intermission right there. Just nicely, it's complete. Doesn't sound like anything else on the album. Clearly, it's just there. Um,
We
but
just
I
talked
love
about
Does
a
the
record.
intermission
We
does
just
the
talked about a
intermission
record
end
in
slightly?
'97 that does that. The Offspring's "Ixnay on the Hombre" does that.
you know, I appreciate when bands do that. I appreciate when there's a vision and it's not just a collection of songs. The LP has the bonus track "Sleeping Pills," which is great, super punk rocky. It also appears on the Smash It Up single, as does Inner City Rejects. And then the reproduction of Death was actually part of the Sub Pop Singles Club. So I got a fun Sub Pop International Noise Conspiracy record. And it's got the Transmission and Simulacra Overload. Both highly recommend those songs. I love all of the bonus and B-sides that this band puts out throughout their career. They've got like a whole nother album's worth of B-sides on the singles and stuff. And we're going to talk about half of them when we get to notable releases. But, there's 4 from this album that are all incredible. Just add to the entire, I don't know, picture.
I will say
Yeah.
I was disappointed. I had my notes written out and I deleted the notes. But when it said "smash it up," I was gonna say, well, like Bill says, there's only one "smash it up," and it's by The Offspring. But then I got to thinking, Bill probably doesn't know that Offspring song. He probably doesn't know it was a cover
See, and I
because
was
it was
going
a
to make the
B-side.
joke that there's only one Smash It Up, and it's by The Damned.
Right. It's the cover of the Damned, The Offspring.
Oh, it's okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really like this one. That is such a groove, and I love the keyboard part. It's so simple and dumb, but it gets stuck in my head. Um, it's funny you guys both kind of called out. Do I have to spell it out as being a little weird? I think it's my favorite song on the album. It does that lounge act thing where it plays the song and then it plays it again, but just that much more in your face. And when you get to the lyric sheet, the lyric sheet for that song is some dictionary entries for 3 words. The first word is organist, a player of an organ, and then organize, which if you listen to the song, they do spell it out. They spell out organize in the background. It sounds like a love song, but it's actually like, hey, let's, fuck up the work here and start a union. And then the last word they define in the lyric sheet is orgy, because you can't get a good union unless everybody's involved.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that song. Enslavement blues. Like I'm a slave. I'm enslaved by the weekdays, by their names, Monday to Friday.
It's true.
Like that's I love subversively playing that at work right after, take this job and shove it. Um, or right before, I wonder. Um, and then the last song, Ready Steady Go. I can see where it's like kind of a letdown for you on the first listen, but again, when you're sitting there with the manifesto in front of you, it really sums up how we're talking all these super left wing political ideas, and we're framing them within the framework of love songs because we love these ideas so much. And so it's really they are love songs because you feel the passion. And that Ready Steady Go is really like, biggest festival in history, biggest party of our lives. That's the day we're dancing in the streets when after we finally smash the system. And how awesome it'll be. And I think that captures it perfectly. Um yeah.
I mean, it's not to go off topic, but like the 2000s, especially the early 2000s, political music was like at an all-time high. There were so many great political
Well,
albums that came out.
argue like 90, uh the first Bush administration probably had more. Um
I don't know. I don't know. I think the 90s was more apathetic as a
I
whole.
see. Well, and I thought the 2000s, I mean, lifestyles of the rich and the famous was being passed off as punk rock.
Well, that's like, yeah, I'm not talking that. I'm talking like the political
Always got
bands.
rain,
Well,
man.
sure, but even then, there weren't, what, Toby Keith?
No, no, I'm okay, okay. It was all underground for sure. Like I'm not saying
Oh,
mainstream
whereas in the
radio.
early 90s,
I
you
think it's one of the
were in one
positives.
be in Rock the Vote. You had Ministry out there, and that's when Megadeth was
Yeah,
still.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, we had Rock Against Bush.
Yeah,
It wasn't on
yeah.
the radio or it wasn't on MTV, but like we had
How many
there were
Foo
a lot of
Fighters fans
bands.
ran out and bought that?
I'm sure quite a lot. I would hope. I don't know. I'm sure Fat Mike bought a yacht off of it.
Angry Samoan songs in posh cafes, like Gas Chamber.
Yeah. I don't know. It was an interesting time. Like the 2000s was
It
interesting.
was. It was an interesting time, and this presentation spoke to me in a way that not many underground punk rock bands were doing at the time. Too many of them were falling into line of, oh shit, everybody liked Lagwagon, so now we got to sound like that.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone sounds like the Strokes,
Yeah, yeah. See, and I think this is much more interesting than the Strokes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely. You can listen to a Strokes record like that. Is this it? This is it. Whatever that record was, and it's like such a monotone, flat record. It's a good sound, but it's the entire record. Whereas this is like start stop. It's like all over the place. And I get to guess. I'm gonna say Bill liked it more.
That would be incorrect because I was reminded the animals
Oh,
will
that's
listen
right. Your
to
whole
it.
hatred for the Rolling Stones.
No,
Uh,
it's because it reminded me of the animals, and the issue is
see how I
I like
slid that
listening
in
to the
there.
animals more than this album.
Hashtag Bill hates Keith Richards.
That's not put words in my mouth. God damn it!
We didn't. We put a hashtag.
Yeah,
My God, that's not any better. That's almost worse.
get it trending, y'all. Trey, get on that. Uh, Tim's probably gonna follow suit.
That would be incorrect.
God damn it, I'm just 0 for 0 tonight.
No, you're 0 for 2.
See, now I'm 0 for 3. I'm
God
with
bless
Tim.
you if you are.
I am. I think this one's better. I think it sounds better. I don't know what you're talking about with the production issues. I think it sounds like what it's supposed to sound like to me. I think the songwriting's better. There's less. It's a better written album. Minus the closing track. I think the closing track is better, and they probably could have done a better closing track. But besides that, the album fits together cohesively.
And I felt the first one fit better.
Well,
I get
can't
what
wait
you're
to
saying, though.
talk about the next
What?
one.
Yeah,
Well,
let's see. Let's
the
see
next
how the
one's gonna
next
be a
one
trip.
goes.
Trust me.
You want to go back and forth on that one?
I mean, if you
get
want
there.
to,
We'll
I
get
don't know
there.
if you want to though.
We'll
Why
get there.
wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we? All right. Stick around for that. A New Morning is next. Plus, we're going to talk about bigger cages. And stick around next week. We got Green Day. Check out our 1990 Album of the Decade series. We should be doing 98 here roughly sometime soon-ish. I need you guys' list. We got the Beastie Boys, which I'm still struggling how the fuck I'm going to rank those records.
Same.
Uh,
I'm struggling
Yeah,
with top songs.
I don't even want to
I'm
think
I'm
about
counting
that.
on you guys to have some of my top songs.
No, we'll let you have the fight for your right to parties.
See, and I don't know if that's making it.
That's not even the best. That's like the worst song on that record.
As I said, I don't think it's making it.
No problems here.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see what happens with Shakes Out with the Beastie Boys. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us out. Check out our Discord. Come hang out with us in Discord. Show us your records. Be safe. And what, Tim?
Smash the neoliberal agenda by making good decisions.
Yeah, the neoliberal was the thing.
Do I have to spell it out? Do I have to spell it out? Do I have to spell it out?
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.